Perfect. All right, part 2 of Donald Trump explodes on Good Morning America after fiery confrontation with Michael Strahan, in a 1,500-word, dramatic, AP-style tone, continuing the narrative naturally from part 1. Here's your part 2, 1,500 words, no headings. The studio atmosphere remained tense long after Donald Trump's abrupt reaction during his Good Morning America interview with Michael Strahan. Production assistants moved quietly, cameras adjusted focus, and producers whispered directions through headsets, attempting to steady what had quickly become one of the most volatile live television moments in recent memory. Strahan, visibly composed but clearly unsettled, tried to regain control of the segment as the former president's words continued to echo in the air. Backstage, members of Trump's media team scrambled, some urging calm while others seemed to revel in the spectacle. For Trump, confrontation has always been part of his showmanship, but even by his standards, the outburst was stunning. As Strahan pressed him on questions about recent controversies, Trump's demeanor shifted from restrained irritation to full-throated indignation. He accused the network of bias, the media of dishonesty, and Strahan personally of twisting words to fit a failing narrative. The moment quickly went viral across every social media platform within minutes. ABC executives, sources later revealed, held an emergency post-show meeting. Some were concerned about how the exchange would be perceived, while others privately acknowledged that the controversy had sent viewership numbers soaring. It's exactly what you don't want to happen, and yet, in this business, it's exactly what everyone talks about the next day, said one network insider who spoke on background. As clips from the confrontation spread, Trump's supporters praised him for standing firm against what they described as a mainstream media ambush. His detractors, meanwhile, viewed the exchange as yet another example of his inability to engage in civil discourse. Social media became a battleground of interpretations, hashtags, and edited clips, each side claiming victory. Michael Strahan, ever the professional, returned from the commercial break with a calm expression and a practiced tone, choosing not to address the altercation directly. Instead, he continued with the show's next scheduled segment, interviewing a best-selling author about resilience and communication, a topic that felt almost painfully ironic in the wake of what had just unfolded. In the hours that followed, media analysts began dissecting every second of the exchange. Some pointed to Trump's body language, the clenched jaw, the stiff posture, the raised voice, as evidence of deep-seated frustration. Others argued that the entire outburst was calculated, a performance crafted for maximum impact at a moment when he thrives most, in conflict, under bright lights, with the world watching. Behind the scenes, a person close to Strahan said the host felt blindsided. Michael came prepared, he came respectful, the source said. He asked tough but fair questions, and suddenly it turned into this explosion. No one saw it coming at that scale. Another insider noted that the former president's team had approved the question list in advance, which only deepened the confusion about why the tension escalated so rapidly. Trump, for his part, wasted no time addressing the moment himself. Within hours, he posted on Truth Social, writing, "The fake news media tried to ambush me again this morning, but they failed big time. Michael Strahan showed his bias, but the American people saw through it. We don't need the media's approval to know the truth." The post was accompanied by a short clip of his walk-off moment, captioned with, "They can't handle the truth." By midday, major outlets had issued their own versions of the story. CNN described the event as a volatile exchange that highlighted the former president's ongoing war with the media. Fox News characterized it as Trump standing his ground against another biased interview. Entertainment outlets covered it from a pop culture angle, noting how rarely Strahan, known for his friendly demeanor, found himself in the middle of such explosive tension. As evening approached, GMA producers debated whether to release the unedited version of the interview online. Doing so, they reasoned, would show viewers the full context and allow the public to judge for themselves. Late that night, ABC uploaded the complete segment to YouTube. Within hours, it had accumulated millions of views, drawing thousands of comments ranging from outrage to admiration. The following morning, Strahan opened the show with a brief acknowledgement. "Yesterday's interview generated a lot of discussion," he said, maintaining professionalism. "At Good Morning America, our goal is to ask questions that matter, and to do so with respect. He didn't mention Trump by name, nor did he address the incident further. It was a subtle but firm attempt to move the conversation forward without inflaming the situation. Meanwhile, Trump's camp doubled down. A spokesperson released a statement claiming the former president had been disrespected and provoked during the interview, accusing ABC of setting a trap. The statement alleged that producers had added last-minute questions meant to paint a negative picture. ABC swiftly denied those accusations, insisting that the entire interview followed the pre-approved outline. Political strategists began weighing in, analyzing the moment as both a potential misstep and a strategic win. Every time Trump clashes with a network, his base rallies harder, one analyst explained. He doesn't lose support, he amplifies it. Yet others argued that such moments alienate undecided voters who view his temper as unpredictable. By the end of the week, the confrontation had evolved beyond a single event. It had become a symbol in the broader conversation about media trust, political polarization, and the role of personality in modern politics. Late-night talk shows replayed the footage with comedic commentary. Memes circulated endlessly. A trending hashtag Trump vs Strahan, dominated Twitter for days. Inside ABC, the incident sparked internal debate about the future of live political interviews. Some producers argued for stricter controls, while others insisted that raw, unfiltered exchanges, even uncomfortable ones, represented the essence of journalism. Strahan, though shaken, reportedly told colleagues he stood by his approach. "If we can't ask real questions," he was overheard saying, "then what's the point of doing it live?" In Palm Beach, Trump seemed unbothered. He held a rally days later where he referenced the encounter, telling supporters, "They tried to corner me on national television, but we don't back down. We tell the truth." The crowd erupted, chanting his name. For his base, the GMA confrontation only reinforced his narrative of defiance against establishment media. Yet the fallout continued to ripple. Media watchdog groups published op-eds dissecting whether journalists should alter their tactics when interviewing public figures known for volatility. Some praised Strahan's composure, calling it a masterclass in restraint under pressure. Others questioned whether GMA should have cut to commercial earlier to defuse the moment. A week later, ratings reports showed that Good Morning America experienced a significant spike following the viral segment, its highest viewership of the quarter. ABC's PR department issued a carefully worded statement emphasizing the network's commitment to balanced reporting while subtly acknowledging the public's fascination with high-tension television. Despite the professional polish, many insiders described a lingering discomfort. "No one wants to make the news for losing control of an interview," one producer admitted. But when someone like Trump is involved, unpredictability is part of the package. Trump's critics continued to question whether his outburst was spontaneous or rehearsed. Commentators on several news panels debated whether he had orchestrated the moment to dominate headlines. "He understands television better than almost anyone," one media historian noted. "He doesn't react, he performs. Every reaction is an act in itself." As the news cycle slowly shifted to other stories, the confrontation remained a case study in the collision of personality, media, and politics. For Trump, it became another battle in his ongoing feud with the press. For Strahan, it was a reminder that even the calmest of interviewers can be pulled into the storm. Weeks later, when asked about the event in a magazine profile, Strahan gave a characteristically measured response. "Interviews are about dialogue," he said. "Sometimes they go smoothly, sometimes they don't. You stay professional, you stay respectful, and you move on." It was a diplomatic answer, one that spoke volumes about how he chose to handle what could have easily turned into a long-running feud. But even months later, the footage continued to circulate. In classrooms, journalism students analyzed it as an example of live broadcast tension. Political podcasts replayed it while discussing polarization. It became one of those indelible moments that lived far beyond the broadcast itself, not because of what was said, but because of what it revealed about the era we live in, a time where confrontation is currency, and every word spoken on camera can ignite a digital firestorm. In the end, both men walked away unchanged yet altered in perception. Strahan reaffirmed as a calm professional in chaos, Trump is the unyielding provocateur who thrives in it. For viewers, it was another entry in the long and ever-growing catalog of media moments that blur the line between news and spectacle. And while the cameras eventually stopped rolling, the echoes of that fiery morning interview lingered, a snapshot of power, pride, and performance in the age of endless visibility. Dash dash dash.